that, this seems to me to be one more pathetic divert attention from the fact that the president's name appeared more than 1,000 times already in the small fraction of material released on F.
Yes. Criticizing someone for literally being Jeffrey Epstein's mouthpiece during congressional hearings is a distraction from Trump being mentioned 1,000 times over the course of 50,000 emails while he was the president of the United States, and many of those emails, for the record, were condemning him. There were emails saying that Epstein hated Trump. But of course, that just can't. He's not going to say that. He's just going to say that, well, actually, there were lots of talk of Trump.
And from the failure of the majority to move to disclose this information.
Having email exchanges.
High quality H2O. Alright, I'm lying. This coffee. You alright? You ran into my foot. You all cute and adorable. Look at you. You can find a new home. Look at you. Oh, look, looking like the Save the Children commercial. You want a moment of cuteness, too? Oh, look at you. Look at you all cute and chill. Look at you. You're just bad. Make meow meow. Cut it out. Cut that shit out. Why is that window wet?
That's not a problem. But we know that Trump shook his hand 19 years ago, and he might have been in contact with him ever since. That Jeffrey Epstein also was solicited by Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, the current leader of the Democrats in the House, for campaign donations. So not only was Jeffrey Epstein texting Democrats, coordinating with Democrats, and mainstream media as well too, in order to try to take down Trump. It is so frustrating because I'll be real. Like,
be real, motherfucker. Be real.
Literally in this society, this would just actually be treason. And it's crazy to think about it because, like, if you're calling Trump a pedophile, then you're basically telling people to kill him. Like, it's unbelievable how easy it is to slander people these days. You know, people get slandered so easily, and it's crazy. And here you have actual members of the country that lost an election badly. They got humiliated, to be fair. All 7 swing states, majority vote, they got humiliated in the election so badly. These people are, in my opinion, doing acts of sedition to remove Trump's power and authority in every possible way because they hate our country. It's insane. He also was allegedly helping to finance the Democrat Party as well.
colleagues' coordination with Epstein.
Critical battery. Please charge.
Invited Epstein to an event.
Thought it did charge here, but I guess that shit
As
didn't
part
work.
of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch. The files underscore why former President Trump must appear for his deposition. We subpoenaed him. To date, the Democrats have done nothing to help us secure his appearance. I support full transparency. The Oversight Committee will continue to work to get the truth to the American people and to get justice for the victims. That's our goal of this investigation.
Let's go.
I yield back.
Get that
And the
justice.
seat we reserve. The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Yeah. So fascinating, absolutely fascinating. We're not learning what Democrats are going on television and making defamatory statements claiming about the President of the United States. But we are learning that it was actually Democrats who were in bed with Jeffrey Epstein. Again, Hakeem Jeffries here.
Goddamn Democrats.
To Epstein,
Always
where
touching
they say,
shit.
Hey, dear Jeffrey, we are
Touching
thrilled
them
to
dark
announce that we are
spots.
working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars in the New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as, quote, Brooklyn Barack, aka discount Obama,
Oh
aka
my
dollar store
God.
Obama, right? Okay, aka no swag Obama, aka no Riz Obama. He is a staunch supporter of President Obama and a progressive voice for the people of New York City. Yeah, so they go on to say that if you would like to get involved with the bill or would like to
Oh,
get an
BZ.
opportunity to get to
I
know
don't even know
Hakeem
why I'm
better,
listening to
he
this.
is an impressive guy and will be a progressive voice in New York politics for years to come. Again, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. The same people who are upset with President Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, again, a relationship that I think is very clear that President Trump cut off ties with Epstein. If this happened and there are like victims out there that were raped by Trump and they're just wandering around, like, you don't think that any of them would have come forward and said the President of the United States raped me? Like, you really don't think that would have happened? It's such an insane situation, man. When it became clear that, you know, hey, this guy's into some creepy stuff that the president doesn't want to be involved in, right? He cut
Just
off
a little
ties
bit
with
creepiness.
Jeffrey Epstein hated the president for doing that, okay? And that's mainly what you see in these emails. But while they're worried about that, Democrats were actively trying to get in bed with Jeffrey Epstein, right? The Democrats were going back and forth, texting with Jeffrey Epstein, trying to raise money from the guy, trying to blackmail the president with Jeffrey Epstein. It seems to me that Democrats were the ones that were in bed with
That did everything.
Jeffrey Epstein.
And for example, this is just like kind of a crazy thought, not trying to be rude here or anything. I'm just saying it's kind of weird if you think about it. Again, not trying to go too far over here. I'm just saying it's a little bit weird.
What you saying, yo? What you saying?
These files. Why is it that the Biden administration didn't release any of the Epstein files? It's actually pretty obvious if you think about it. The pedo party, the ones that are pushing, transing the kids, turns out the pedo party was in bed with a pedophile. Well, color me shocked and surprised.
Okay, ain't it funny how that works? All of this is really starting to backfire.
I'm
Which
shocked
I
and
guess is why,
surprised.
if you're black and you are a Democrat Party supporter, you're not supposed to ask questions about why is it that Democrats do not release the bombshell information that would prove that President Trump was involved in some type of crime with Jeffrey Epstein. Why didn't they release this information when they were in power for the last 4 years? Because we all know that if they actually had anything on the president, they would have released it by now. But apparently you're not supposed to ask this question. Well, the plantation overseer, people like Roland Martin, for example, Roland Martin, they're going to jump in his ass. You gotta push back immediately. Jump in his ass. You were there for 4 years. How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then?
True.
What am I
Don't
missing?
be jumping in nobody's ass.
I'm not saying I know. It's a legitimate question.
Bro, dude, the black community is turning on them. No.
Maybe I don't remember the answer. Maybe my extraordinary producers should be able to help me during the commercial break. But from my understanding, the same files that were open or being open now with the 220 pages of documents or whatever it is, with various emails,
Happy.
that could have been
Happy.
done
Coffee dance.
when Biden was in
Yeah.
office.
True.
Well, why did it do that?
I'm just thinking that right now. Wait a second, you're so right. Well, color me surprised.
Do it.
Oh my God.
If it's so important now.
What were the Democrats doing at that particular moment in time?
They were
Crack.
probably raping children. No, but I'm not trying to slander anyone here. Calling someone a pedophile for defending pedophiles actually is in bad taste, right?
How about you do the damn research before you go on the air on an epic rant, Stephen A?
Yep.
Like, I don't understand why black people or other folks with shows don't know how to do research before they open their mouths. What you just heard is misinformation and disinformation.
Oh my God.
As for why Biden and the Democrats didn't release the criminal case files,
Okay, I'm ready.
Maxwell, Shalane Maxwell.
All right, let me roll me a
the
blunt.
associate of Jeffrey Epstein.
Need to stop watching
Maxwell's
news clips.
criminal case
They're all talking about the
was
same
still open
Bullshit.
during the Biden administration.
It was closed in 2021. What were they doing from 2021 to 2024? Oh my God, Lord, save me from these damn idiots. This is crazy.
She wasn't convicted until late 2021.
And then Biden was president for 3 more years. Oh, what? Oh my God, these people are retarded. Is this what the Democrats have to do? Is this how they defend themselves?
And then she appealed her conviction. Generally, it's not a good idea to open your evidence files when a criminal case is ongoing.
Oh my God.
We also don't know whether the FBI was still investigating other possible suspects who helped Epstein or participated in his crimes. If you are still targeting suspects, you don't want them to know you are zeroing in on them.
Right, so the Biden not releasing the files, that's zeroing in on suspects. Trump not releasing the files, well that means that everyone in the Trump administration must be defending pedophiles.
This is what I keep trying to tell these people who are in media. When you have a mega microphone, you need to be...
I do my own research. Proceeds to read a tweet. I can't stand it anymore, man. I'm so done with these retards, bro.
judicious with how you use it. You need to be careful with what you say and how you say it, and you need to have your facts right.
Yeah. Like that time when... Yeah, look, I mean, before we even move on, bro, you don't even have a neck. All right, falsely claimed that DHS, AI, doctored...
He really didn't
make it
know.
seem like a black teenager threatened ICE when DHS did not. AI. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't know
that
how
little
long
scandal.
the stream
All
will go. I'm just
he's dealing
streaming
with other
somebody
scandals at
else's
this
shit.
point. Now, before wrapping up the Epstein saga
So if
here,
it ain't here
I'll
later,
just
that just
be
means
off,
they
We're
flagged
going to talk
me.
about this more as more Democrats get exposed.
Comes with
It
the
turns out
territory.
The Pedo Party is actually in bed with pedophiles. No one saw this coming. What?
Any which
You're
way
the
though,
party
roll
that's,
it if you got it. That's what I'm
selectively
doing.
and stealthily installing pedophile teachers in every school in America is actually involved with pedophiles? Oh, I'm shocked. Well, it turns out they were also involved in a giant sex trafficking ring of children. A lot more directly than you might think.
Just this week, Joint Task Force Alpha took 4 major enforcement actions. Right here in Tampa, we unsealed the indictment charging
This shouldn't
12
even be a
defendants
surprise to
operating
people.
a massive,
Chuck E.
right here in
Cheesecake is
Tampa,
real.
a massive illegal
Why they
smuggling
acting like
ring.
it wasn't?
The defendants engaged in a conspiracy to bring illegal aliens from Cuba to the U.S. for profit. They coached their clients, including children, who came to airports alone, came to our country alone, were put on planes for connecting flights, lied to Border Patrol agents,
Wait, how long
and law
the job is
enforcement.
gonna
They
last?
charged up to $40,000 per victim. They used Zelle to transfer over $7 million over the course of this scheme, and I believe had profits, cash of over $18 million.
So it seems like, under Biden, it seems, that the Biden administration funneled $7 million into a child smuggling network ran by a trafficker and made $18 million bringing kids illegally across our border.
We got 2 people in the chat room.
Was literally funding child trafficking with the open border policy.
Well, 2 people in the
So,
clouds
like,
from what I see.
Who's the pedophile party? Like, subscribe, and this video is streamed live on kick.com/Nuxador. See you there. Stay weird, fans.
Oh yeah, I never did sign up for Kick. I said I was going to. Never got around to it. I want to be a degenerate.
It's time for Lefties Losing It, and we do talk about MSNBC a lot in this segment. It is the mental asylum masquerading as a news network You have an embarrassment of lefties losing it. Richards there, Rachel Maddow, Nicole Wallace, Joe Scarborough, Jen Psaki. And this next guy, Lawrence O'Donnell, who often gets overlooked because, let's be honest, he's quite boring. But be no doubt, he's as demented as they come. Remember this, Gold?
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer?
Stop the hammering!
Where's the hammer?
Where's the hammer? Where is the hammer? Well, let's look at Lawrence's latest output. Here he goes on a wacky, fact-free rant. And just imagine
Sky
what
News
sort of,
Australia. Lefties
fringe-dwelling
losing
loon
it.
you have to be to think
I watch
CNN,
this shit every day.
CNN is too pro-Trump.
What's good with you?
CNN is already owned by a right-wing Trump supporter and has compromised itself accordingly. The firing started right away in that new regime. That's why Jim Acosta is no longer
Well,
there.
if you got it.
And others are no longer there.
That's what I'm doing.
And everyone who remains has become much more careful in anything they might even think of saying about Donald Trump. And now CNN eagerly pays a Trump supporter to lie on CNN every day and night for Donald Trump.
Like,
Firstly, CNN is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a publicly
I can't lie. If I'd have been working there, he would have did that. I would have started hammering harder.
Day and night. And the so-called liar that Lawrence claims
Bet you ain't
is
paying
playing
my
the
check.
station is often the lone
Stop the
conservative
hammering!
panels of 4 or 5
Fuck outta
idiots
here.
all leaning left. Yes, this unseemly meltdown was all about Scott Jennings.
And then when they try to talk to me, I would act like I'm Dominican and don't understand the
CNN
language.
has a lone conservative on some of its panels to provide some level of balance.
Paying Scott Jennings to lie about Donald Trump is money very well spent. Scott Jennings, who used to be an aide to Senator Mitch McConnell, was not always
That's
a
not
rabid
supposed to
lying
be
Trump
allowed
supporter.
on nation
When he first started
television,
appearing on
or
television,
network
he was
television.
capable of criticizing some of the more extreme Trump positions, but Scott Jennings figured out where the money is and how he could get his own podcast and decided to
You're
become
not
the
supposed to be
J.D.
lied
Vance
to
of
on
CNN.
news.
And here is the single goofiest thing ever said by anyone in charge of CNN in that network's history.
Stop the
The
hammering!
Lost in America Englishman who heads CNN said, quote, Scott's like D'Artagnan. He's got his sword out, and he's got about 4
Let's
Democrats
see what
against
Kick
him,
is about.
but he spikes them all off.
Sign up.
That's much more like it, I think. He's a worthy opponent, as it were.
Well, that
I
statement
wanted
is
to sign up and then
100%
I changed my
accurate.
mind.
Scott Jennings does typically take on
Let's see
4
what it's
rabid
about.
Democrats at once and comes out on top, not because of lies or playing on emotions, but because he sticks to the cold, hard facts. Something foreign to MSNBC anchors like Lawrence. Now to a teeny tiny little agitator, 4'6" Quinn Hobble, who the leftist media love to present as some sort of lovable protester who's being victimized by ICE agents. But the footage suggests otherwise. Let's look at what Quinn has to say when speaking to the media and the behavior that actually led to his arrest.
Only 4'6", and I can't see. What harm was I going to do to them? Get them back.
Don't you tell me what to do, you have no idea how much I'd like to beat
I decided that I was going to sit. So I was sitting in the grass, and my legs were just barely in the driveway. And they came up, I think there were 6 of them, and they grabbed me. And they started to drag me
Those were my crabby fingers.
across the driveway on the ground. They put their foot or something on my back. And
Kicks.
some part of them on my neck. It was scary.
There's a lot of kicks.
Being dragged across the ground when you can't see what's happening around you. They call Portland a war zone. The only people that's making it a war zone is ICE.
Let's go back to CNN, and polling expert Harry Enton had more bad news for their lefty losing it audience.
You might think, given that the Republicans are in charge of both the House and the Senate, that a government shutdown might actually hurt the Republican brand. But in fact, it hasn't. If anything, it's been helped a little bit. Take a look here, the shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. When we're looking at the Republican Party overall, that brand actually up 2 points. That's within the margin of error, but clearly it hasn't dropped. Come over to this side of the screen. Look at the net approval ratings for Republicans in Congress. It's actually up 5 points since pre-shutdown. So what we're seeing here is the Republican brand in Congress has actually improved somewhat compared to where we were pre-shutdown, despite the fact that Republicans control. And that's the math that John Thune and Mike Johnson are looking at.
Yes, Republicans and independents are not blaming the Republicans for Schumer's shutdown. That's good news for the midterms for some.
It's rallying the base for sure. Look at this, the net approval rating up 12 points versus pre-shutdown. But it's not just with the base, it's also with the middle of the electorate. Look at this, among independents, it's up 8 points as well. So we've got a situation here where Republicans with the shutdown are actually rallying their base, but it's also something that's not hurting them with the folks in the middle. If anything, it's helping them with folks in the middle. And this is the type of math that if you're Republicans, you like to see, right?
Yes, the math is mathing, but what is the shutdown doing to the Democrats' chances at the midterms?
So how do Democrats, how are they positioned right now?
Yeah, so, I mean, look, the generic congressional ballot, which traditionally Democrats have done really well on, and if you look at this point back when Trump was president the first time around, Democrats are up 11 points. Look at where it is now. Democrats are ahead, but they're actually only up 3 points. This is, in fact, the worst position Democrats have been on in a generic ballot at this point in midterm when there was a Republican president in the last 20 years. And this is no different from pre-shutdown, so Republicans aren't losing on this metric either. They become more popular, and they're actually in a pretty good position for them historically when it comes to the generic congressional ballot.
This is a concerning number for Democrats, are you saying?
This is a concerning number for Democrats because it's considerably worse than they traditionally do in midterm elections when there's a Republican president.
Ariane.
Oh dear, let's bring in documentary filmmaker and commentator Ami Horowitz. Ami, the shutdown isn't hurting Trump, not with the base, and just as importantly, it's not hurting him with independents.
No, it's not. In fact, the Democratic brand is so low that they're actually bucking history. Historically, the government in charge is always blamed for the shutdown, but that's not the case here. Yeah, this is, I mean, what do you want? The Democrats have voted 13 times to keep the government shut down. And frankly, look, you listen to Chuck Schumer and what he's saying when he's decrying the shutdown. What does he point to as a problem? He points to Trump helping out Milei in Argentina. Really, that's a problem? Milei is reshaping the Argentinian economy into a free market economy for the first time as a light to the entire region that they will follow. That's a problem? He talked about Trump dancing in Malaysia. Yeah, he was in Malaysia cutting deals left and right. He was in Asia brokering a peace deal between Thailand and Cambodia that is 100 years old. That's an older conflict than Israel and the Palestinians. Yeah, that's what he's doing, and that's what the Democrats are decrying as a problem with this shutdown. And by the way, the coalition of the Democratic Party, which has been strong so far, is now framed as a federal union that is now telling the Democrats, you guys better stop this soon. This is being a problem for us. And at the end of the next week, 41 million people will stop receiving food stamp benefits, which is food stamp benefits. By the way, 41 million people on food stamps, that in itself is a massive problem. That's where we stand right now, Rita.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a problem. I think that's something that deserves a national discussion. I mean, there's something very sick in the country when you've got that many people dependent on food stamps to feed their families. Now, let's go to your beloved New York, where leftist rabbis are campaigning for Zohran Mamdani. Yes, they are. Hi, Rabbi. Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi.
Hi. We're among the thousands of Jewish New Yorkers who've been out door knocking and phone banking to elect Zohran Mamdani. We're also rabbis.
We know Zohran will fight to make our city affordable and safe for our families.
And for our neighbors of all faiths and backgrounds.
As Jews, as rabbis, as New Yorkers, we believe that all people deserve to thrive. Zoran agrees.
Ah, dear me. Zoran agrees. What percentage of the Jewish community do you think is backing Zoran Mamdani? He's made some radical comments, and these radical comments aren't ancient history. They're very, very recent indeed.
Hi, Rabbi. I mean, Rita, you're more of a rabbi than they are. One of them literally said they don't believe in God, okay? Okay. What rabbinical school did they go to exactly? That was so cringy. That was, for the first time I saw it, I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit, but I knew Saturday Night Live wouldn't do an anti-Mamdani video, so it couldn't be that. It had to be real. Yeah, look, I'm ashamed to say that if you look at the last three polls, 33%, on average, 33% of Jews in New York will vote for Mamdani. That is completely and utterly shameful. Maybe even more shameful is that when you're
Just been
listening to
sitting
this
here
video
holding
and
his
they
voice,
go
never
through
sparked it
all the
enough.
reasons why they're supporting Mamdani, they didn't mention a single Jewish issue, right? This is, and by the way, that 33% is driven by mostly, like you saw in that video, young women, as I call the Yenta class. But I feel like if you're going to be Jewish, say you're supporting Mamdani, maybe bring up some Jewish issues. I don't know. Why don't you bring up an issue that Mamdani literally said that the boot of the NYPD is on your neck. It's laced by the IDF. Yeah, can you go as a Jew? When I hear that, I go, what I hear next is going to be horrible and terrible, and that's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
And you say that as a proud Jewish man. Now, Ami, we may all want... we may all wonder how someone like Zoran can be so popular, about to become mayor of New York City. But you hit the streets recently, and I think this next clip explains why.
Jails are so racist.
They're so racist.
Is it racist for a judge to say, hey, you have a history of violent crime?
Yes.
And to keep them because of that reason?
Yes.
Your criminal history should not play any role whatsoever.
I don't think so, no.
And I don't know if I know anyone who's ever committed crime.
Well, just because you commit crime doesn't make you a criminal. Right. That the focus of the criminal system, the judicial system, should be less on safety and more on racial equity.
That the judicial system should be more on equity?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's the affluent New Yorkers who are the biggest problem, isn't it? It's always the people in the better parts of Manhattan who've got these wacky views, and they vote accordingly.
Yeah, and by the way, this is the reason why Mamdani said he wants to abolish jails. This is what he said. These are his words. And of course, that comports with what you heard on that video. The judicial system is racist. The judicial system is out to get black people. Well, this is why when Mamdani ran against Cuomo for the Democratic nomination, he couldn't win the black and Hispanic vote. Because they understand the ramifications of those statements. I mean, the other part of that video was after you watch these crazy leftists talk about destroying and upending the judicial system, I went to Harlem. Actually, the best part is I asked this one person, I go, if I went to Harlem, would they agree with you? And he goes, of course they would. So then I went to Harlem. I was there for hours. Not a single person there said that it's racist. Not a single person there said you should abolish jails.
He's not yet ready. This
Specifically
is
said
his
that
tool.
these
He's
kind of...
gonna spin around non-stop. And this is my other opponent. And he's not ready yet. In 30 minutes, we'll start the combat, bro. I don't know how they're gonna make it.
Damn it. I forgot how to do what I was
How
doing.
are they gonna make it?
Oh, there we go.
Chat, that's 30.
What you talking about?
Hermanito, que por esa pe, hermano, yo soy un manistazo.
Le faltó sal a tu ceviche.
Firme, pe, hermano. El Guti y yo somos salados en las apuestas y Guti nos falta sal.
Rellena y ganarás maquita.
No, hermano, yo tengo que ganar el día sábado, hermano.
Like I got a sponsor?
Si naciste para ser winner porque siempre pierdes.
Hermano, porque viste a Lionel Messi, hermano. Lionel Messi perdió 2 Copas Libertadores. Perdió un Mundial. Perdió otra...
They're Americans?
O evden çıkacağını görüyorum dedi, evden taşınacağımı dedi.
Geçim olarak dediyse tamam.
Şöyle bir
iyi de,
şey var.
altı ay kes.
10 şey
Ha,
söylüyor.
onu iyi demiş.
10 şey söylüyor. Bunlar tutmuyor. Mesela tutmayan aklında kalmamıştır senin. Onu anlattığını
Ama adam mesela kadına gitsen şey desen bak tutmadı ama daha yaşamadın ki daha gelmedi o.
Story is that, well, at least the story is telling his mother and probably the authorities, is that he
Found
went
an
over
American?
there to film a wedding. And look, you guys might not know what Mauritius is, but Mauritius is like a scenic destination, right? Like like a nice scenic destination. Let me see here. Let me show you. It's like a wedding vacation island, Mauritius.
There are some places that don't need much introduction. The moment you arrive, you understand.
It's like a nice island paradise, tropical paradise type thing, you know? Where like rich people
Kind of
go
reminds
and,
me of
like,
Twitch, but
vacation,
not as organized.
right?
And Twitch is
So,
kind of
what you're
unorganized in
telling
itself
me
compared to
Is
YouTube.
that
So
the only person in the world that they could get
might have
to
just signed up for
picturesque
something,
island,
just to sign up
like
for something.
beautiful island,
See how it looks
where
on.
people go for tourism all the time. Only person you get is like a random fucking dude from who's like in Hollywood, from Seattle, who hadn't worked in months and was regularly posting to his Instagram like that he was drunk driving and shit. Like that's what you're telling me. Like
Forgot what I was
so they
going for a
just
second.
paid for him to have
Chilled glove.
all the way to fucking an island, beautiful island nation. You know, like that doesn't. I don't believe that. I simply do not believe that. That makes no sense whatsoever. I simply do not believe whatsoever. Him getting the gig is not the issue. Was he really set everybody to know his drugs? But that's the whole point. His lie is that he didn't know what was in the bags. That's the whole point, right? Is that he had zero idea that there was hundreds of pounds of marijuana stuffed to his bags. He just grabbed some bags, 3 suitcases.
I don't know what the fuck this person talking about. He just kind of on the screen talking.
10 minutes before his Uber
I was
arrived
testing
to
out
the
Kick
airport's version.
to see what the fuck was on it, and it was better than
So,
silent,
how
so
does
I
that
just
make
let it
sense?
keep talking.
Like, make it make sense. He went from Phoenix to New York to Dubai and then to Mauritius. And then so he had hundreds of bags of shit.
But I
with
think
him,
you get
of-
more
of
freedom over
marijuana
there.
with him. Like I just don't believe that. You know, like how like if you are a photographer, if you're a videographer or anything like that, like why don't you like check your bags to make sure you have the right equipment? Like you'd really just like fly all the way to your job without once ever checking what's in your bag, what equipment you have, like what you need for the job. Like that makes zero sense to me at all. Like people don't do that. Like I'm sorry. Like that's not real life. Like that sounds like a story that you tell a grieving mother who will believe anything. You know? You go, yeah, mom. They hired your boy because he's the greatest photographer of all time to do a job in Mauritius for a wedding because there's no other wedding photographers ever. And they gave me these bags and I never checked them and I don't know. Yeah. So he's currently facing 45 years. 45 years. Because, as you may or may not know, Mauritius is a tropical island tourism destination, right? And so they are very, very, very keen on keeping the reputation of Mauritius as a picturesque, safe, clean place to go on vacation. So because of that, they have some of the strictest drug laws in the entire world, which is why marijuana is on the same schedule, Schedule 1, as something like methamphetamine. So, yeah, but so the place that they were talking about, Bao Sing or whatever, what was it called again?
Babo Singh.
Fuck, I shouldn't have gone through it. I had all the articles up a second ago. This one.
Sounds like a fighter.
Where's want to see, it's like Bo Singh, Bao Bassin prison. Bao Bassin prison. Mauritius. Let me see here. Bao
Let's find somebody else who's talking. What are you
Sat
talking
down.
about?
I gotta make sure I gotta lay the laws down. You know what I'm saying? We in a relationship. All this. People think that they yours on this. I think it's really tough for people to be in a relationship when it comes to streamers like this. Man, you got all these people come in. You know, like I don't know. You gotta be a different type of breed. Hello, Miss Chow. How we doing? A friend, girls of mine posted on IG. It's not good to overthink and stress. I'll tell her, go become a man because it's in your DNA. I'm freaking dead. Lay it down then. I gotta lay the laws down. Well, you ain't giving no numbers, no nothing. You look, if whoever over here think they yours, you need to calm down over here. Don't be calling my girl Bookie, baby, all that, whatever, bro. Just everything. You know what I'm saying? All these weird nicknames, people. You know what I'm saying? That's like E-Rock, right? He goes to a convention, and he go in a room, and there's a guy sitting beside his wife and be like, "Hey, what's up, baby?" And she over there like, you know what E-Rock gonna do? E-Rock's gonna turn up, but it don't happen because his wife is loyal. You know, I'm just saying his wife will never do nothing like that. But I'm just saying I know how E-Rock is. You know what I'm saying? E-Rock gonna turn that whole convention up. He gonna turn it up. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. He gonna go crazy though. But no, Seattle, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Seattle's cool though. I don't really even know much about Seattle. I met Seattle through Dead by Daylight. I just know she played DDD. He said, I'm gonna snatch that dude up before my wife could ever answer Bucko. I know, right? He go over here. He go over here. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, he gonna be like, what you think you doing over here? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, man, look, man, gotta be, you know what I'm saying? It's really tough out here, you know what I'm saying? Man, gotta protect the females, man. Because so many guys up here think they can talk to females any type of way when it comes to, you know, yours, you know what I'm saying? Yours, you know. Just saying. When it comes to yours, you know what I'm saying? So a man's supposed to be protective of his female. Nowadays, I just see the man running from situations.
Yeah,
you supposed to protect your wife, you supposed to go all crazy. I feel like if you're dating anybody and bring them to streaming, and you got somebody disrespecting your wife, calling them all names and this stuff, that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? We don't play that. We don't play that. You know what I'm saying? And I always been firm with you, look, if you don't control the situation, you ain't gonna like when I control it, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Trying to see if there's any smokers on here. I don't see none.
You know, how things, you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving my fact. But, you know, that's anybody. Anybody should feel like that. Any guy should be protected over his wife or his girlfriend. And if anybody then when it comes to streaming, like I said, they ain't really, they got all these weird people. What's up, Gaming? How you doing? I'm sorry. Let that giggle come out. I'm already looking for the next ex-wife. It's crazy. I got to meet Dro at DreamCon. That was my first DreamCon. I would add you on Instagram. Yeah, my Instagram is Jay Sosa. All my social.
More likely you're going to see a Leo Floridon in real life than get that. A living Leo Floridon.
What's a Leo Floridon?
Does it count if I fall asleep while it's playing? No. No. Dan, don't bully me, I'll come.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
The world's not healing anymore. Guys, the world's not healing anymore. It's getting worse. It's getting worse again. God damn it.
Describe are very bad. I mean, if you need, you know all about it, you know. And when you need anesthesia, it's very dangerous for people. It's for everybody, but especially in older age. We have a very specialized clinic here that is very renowned worldwide, and they do studies on dementia, like specifically, like how to treat older patients after anesthesia, or like, you know, how to make it the most comfortable and most non-risk way for people that have higher risk to get dementia after anesthesia. You know, it can only be half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then, you know, yeah, you know all about that. And I mean, that's not the main cause that causes it, but it can, you know, anesthesia in older ages is very dangerous. I mean, any anesthesia.
At least I ain't the only one that be playing that game, breaking the laws. It's just something about being in a big rig that makes you want to drive extra fast, even though the brakes don't let you stop on a dime. What you talking about? You look like a fucking kid.
That's not funny, son. I would never say that. I am the.
Jesse Lee Peterson's live. I didn't know he was on, kid. What you talking about, Jesse?
I don't think he was for it, but he never really talked to me about it either. He was kind of dealing with his own thing.
You say your mother took some for you, or you?
No, like she wanted to take the pills herself. She ended up taking all of them because I was like, I'm done with you. She knew I had them, so.
So your mother was taking the HGH pills?
Yeah.
Did she need them?
Yeah. I don't know if any of us needed it. It wasn't good for me.
Was your mama a HGA patient?
I don't know that about her. I don't think she got diagnosed.
So why was she taking the pills? Was she using them as drugs or something?
Probably.
Oh. What the? What
Yeah,
a mess.
I was confused.
So how, because of time, how you doing now?
Vamos a tirarlo con eso. Uy, ¿sabes qué? Ahí que me ha comentado ahora. Carlos, si a usted no le da por escribir así que de minitas o algo.
Alright, that's enough kick. That was nice and confusing. I don't understand how that works fully. It was a good attempt. It's just confusing. But yeah, that's just set up just like Twitch. You just got everything everywhere. You just gotta kind of sort through it and figure the shit out. Yeah, I don't think that's any. Well, yeah, that's it. I don't feel like streaming no more. Be back later. Chill.